On Burnt Bodies by Sir Archie McIndoe and his dedicated team. But now we turn to the subject of inner healing, meditation and self-realization. Just some of the benefits to be obtained from some forms of yoga. And at this point, let me welcome my final guest on the program, Mataji Nirmala Devi, known as the Holy Mother of the SahajaYoga movement, and a lady who has a considerable following of men and women in many parts of the world who believe they have experienced her healing powers. Mataji, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
I hope I pronounced your name correctly.
Yes, that's right.
Now, I believe that you were born and brought up in India and actually knew Mahatma Gandhi. Can you tell me a little of that? Can you tell me a little of that?
My father was a freedom fighter, and Mahatma Ji came to live very near our place where we were. And from the age of 7 years, I came to know about him. And he was very fond of me. He used to call me Nepali because he thought my face was more like a Nepali woman.
Now, we are most of us familiar with the idea of yoga, even if we don't practice it ourselves. It's said to be a way of achieving peace of mind, a kind of inner calmness. But what's special about your form of yoga?
The kind of yoga that is practiced now in the West is just a very wee bit of the real yoga that was called as Patanjali Yoga once upon a time. And you had to do everything just to achieve the real yoga, meaning the union with the divine. But it came to be in the West that it is only physical acrobats. So I should say that it was not so good for the yoga people who want to have union with the spirit.
So you see yoga as affecting the whole body, the whole person?
Complete personality of emotions and your mind and your intellect, everything has to be integrated.
Achieving a kind of balance.
Complete balance and integration and mastery over them.
Now, how did you yourself discover that you had this power?
I never discovered it, it was there. As we know, we are human beings. I knew I had those powers from my very childhood.
It must have been a little bit odd in a sense, because you were born of Christian parents who were also pretty rich. You couldn't have lacked for anything as a child. Do you see your present beliefs and practices as a rejection of that, or a reaction to it, or is it an extension to it?
No, you don't reject or you don't run after anything. It is you see, you witness the whole thing. You are in it and you just witness. You are absolutely detached.
To Western minds, it often seems as though there's something very mysterious about Eastern meditation and contemplation. Is it something that we in Western civilizations lack completely?
I don't think so, because Christ was one of the greatest spiritual prophets that could come on this earth, and you have known him very well. But the only thing is we have not followed Christ the way he was.
There's been a very mixed reaction here in the West to some Eastern cults. There was the Maharishi Mahesh Yogi who numbered the Beatles as disciples, and of course there's now the Munis who are coming in for all kinds of criticism, brainwashing and so on. Now, how do you react to this kind of criticism?
That's very true. They are like that. But because you are naive, you don't understand that you can't pay for God's love. You cannot organize him. And all this ignorance has given them a chance to come here and make money. It's only money-making proposition. You cannot relate God to money.
Can you tell me then exactly what the students of your yoga, SahajaYoga, can and should experience?
They should experience a living experience of the spirit, and it is described in all the books. Even in the Bible it is written that it's the cool wind of the Holy Ghost. And it is also written in the Old Testament that I will appear before you like tongues of flames. So all these things should be experienced if you have to feel that you have got the spirit. It's an experience and not just believing into it and brainwashing.
You're talking about spiritual experiences, but also physical facts, of the feeling of a cool wind and so on. So physically, what should we experience? How does it work?
Actually, it works like this, that you have a spirit, but it is not in your conscious mind. See, it's not in the central nervous system you feel it. But when you get realized, then you feel your spirit in your conscious mind. And that's why you say it is physically felt, because you can feel it on your central nervous system.
How in fact does it work in the body then? Can you alter the body's functions?
Yes, you can, because the body gets upset because there are imbalances within us. It gets upset because we exhaust our energies on different centers. When this Kundalini, which is the residual force, when it rises, it enlightens all these exhausted centers and again refills it with vital energy, and the whole thing gets all right.
The Kundalini that you talk about, the living force, can we actually physically feel that rising in our bodies if we practice yoga?
You not only feel it, but others can see it pulsating in the sacrum bone, which is a sacred bone. I don't know how in the Greek, I think, word, it is sacrum, meaning sacred. That means they discovered it long time back.
So what can you then offer in this form of yoga to a modern world, a disbelieving world?
They believe it or not, it exists. You see, for them to be a scientist, they must keep an open eye. That's what, they must have an open mind to see, because I have nothing to take from you to be skeptical. I have to just give, and if it gives you benefit, why not have it? Keep an open eye. That's what one should do. It's a hypothesis. But if a hypothesis can be proved, it becomes a law in science, isn't it?
It's been said that you've influenced thousands of people at once at some of your meetings, but isn't that just the same kind of emotional uplift that others can feel at maybe an evangelical meeting or even a concert?
No, one can deduce that because it looks that how can it be en masse? But it has to be. Everything has to come to the mass level. You see, whatever is discovered on individual level has to come to the mass level. Otherwise it has no utility, and the time has come. I say the blossom time has come, and many flowers have to become fruits.
Now, what do you hope to achieve during your lecture tour in Scotland just now?
I have lots of hopes. I think that Scotland is a specially blessed place, and they do believe in God, and there are people who are seekers. Lots of seekers are here, a little bit lost, no doubt. But I'm sure if there are seekers, they will get it, no doubt, because they deserve it.
Do you think perhaps as a result of our religious traditions, we've got a bit more of a religious awareness still than other sectors of society?
Yes, very much so, but one should not be fanatical about it. One should keep an open mind about everything that they do.
Do some people make better subjects for yoga than others? Are they more open to it?
Yes, I think so. They are very much open, and they are seekers. They are born seekers. You cannot make somebody a seeker. They are seekers, and they are seeking it, so they get it. You have to knock at the door, and you get it.
Now, a lot of your work is spent in face-to-face contact, and you've been face-to-face with me now for about 10 minutes, so tell me, is there any hope for me?
Of course, very much for you, no doubt. For you it is very much.
I spent some time yesterday looking at a picture of you, which it was claimed could help me to begin to experience these feelings, but I must admit nothing happened. Now, should something be happening to me just now?
No, nothing. You should just feel the cool breeze from me, that's all. And you are feeling it. If you can just experience like this, if you put just your hands towards me.
I'm stretching out my hands towards
like
you
this.
now.
If you press it, you may start.
Palms upwards.
Yes.
I hate to admit it, but there is a slight sensation of a cool breeze wafting over the palms.
It is there. You see, not only, but in Observer this Sunday, a lady, she came to me, and first day she got it, and I told her, don't publish just now. You better establish yourself. But she said, no, I can't help it. I have to tell the world that it is there. Because there are so many seekers today in the whole world, and they are to be guided rightly, isn't it? They must get it.
So that means that I'm open to achieving this kind of self-realization.
You are, very much, very much.
We shall explore this further after the program, but it's kind of difficult on radio.
Yes, very true. But you should go further with it. You have to go deeper. It's a very deep thing that happens to you, and you have to master it completely. You can, without paying anything for it, effortlessly. But you must learn what is this, because you can feel the centers on your fingers, you can feel the centers very clearly, and then you can cure people also of cancer, even of cancer.
So, in fact, it can produce physical healing too?
Yes, physical, mental, emotional, as I told you, and intellectual.
Well, thanks indeed to our final guest in the programme, Mataji Nirmala Devi.
Thank you.
Thanks for dropping in. And she lectures tonight at Hillhead Library in Glasgow at 6:45 and tomorrow in Edinburgh. I suppose lecturing about feelings.